Turn up the dial, it's 10:30. Be back. Spin that back show, all the classics on track. From 79 to 99, we're crossing the gap. Album reviews, little known facts, hip hop intact. Saturday mornings, dive into the history. Samples and stories, old school mysteries. Early self-static, surrounds the CDD. No up at a ping. Turn it up, let the vinyl spin. 10:30 sharp, where the stories begin. From the golden era, turn it up. Then spin that back show every Saturday when we break it down, the legends and the lore, every beat, every rhyme. Uncover more, from Grandmaster Flash to Nas's Raw. We're bridging the past, hip hop's core.
Oh yeah. We are back on here on the Spin That Back show. This is your host with the most from this West Coast. Check it out. I had Heavy D up there because that's what we are going to be talking about. We back after a couple of week hiatus, and we back in the game. And I see Mr. Walker's back in here with us. Mr. Nice Guy, of course, is with us. What's going on, fellas?
You gonna share some of that food, man? You sitting there coming up here eating.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We multitask up in here. Nothing wrong with eating. Mm-hmm. But it's all good on this Saturday. The sun's coming out. I don't know if it rained last night. Everywhere was kind of wet, but pause. But it's a good day to be. It's a good day to be celebrating the brother, the legend. Rest in peace, Heavy D.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Charles X early in here said it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine.
That's what's up.
Yep, that's what we're talking about. Heavy D. Can we put his picture back up there, Mr. Heavy D? There you go. Heavy D. I want to say something about Heavy D. I went through a few of his albums last night. I was like amazed. I was like, man, this man has some really good music. All his albums was flawless. Production was on point. Lyrics was on point. He had his own style. And then he gave a show. This man was 6'3", looked like he was about 330, but he moved like he was 150.
Light on his feet.
Light on his feet. What y'all got to say about the man?
Yeah, all you gotta do is look at Uptown is kicking it. He comes in on there, they're sitting there dancing and stuff like that, and we are the boys. I mean, he really brought that sort of like the Pips, Gladys Knight's, the Pip dynamic to hip hop. It was real dope. But go ahead, Walker. What were you about to say?
And he didn't curse in his music. Mm-hmm. He didn't say any foul language, which was rare at that time in hip hop back in the late 80s, early 90s, which was something that was well respected by other MCs as well. Remember that song, Don't Curse?
Yeah, Don't Curse. Yeah, that was a good song. We're going to get to that, in fact, because, we're going to go through the track list of most of these albums and everything anyway. But that was a good song. Mm-hmm. But he had his own little unique style. Eventually, he started getting into acting. He did, Mr. Nice Guy reminded me of this. He did In Living Color and Mad TV.
The intros, yeah. So they did that. Oh, and of course, and then you're talking about the TV shows. He was actually on, like, I think he was on in Living a Different World, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Rock, Living Single. I mean, he was on the Tracy Morgan show. Mm-hmm. He was on even Law and Order Special Victims.
I think he did a few episodes of Law and Order.
Yeah, so he was doing a whole bunch of stuff. So represent.
Well respected in the game, well respected, and like I said, he had his own style. He was on point. His lyrics was always on point and everything too. Man, this man was he was a complete artist. That's one thing I can say. I got people don't put him in the top 10. But I'm gonna have to put him up there. I mean, not like top 10 because my top 10 got like 30 people anyway, but he goes up in there anyway, though.
My top 5 and top 10 ain't 5 or 10.
Exactly. But he's just one of those artists that was like overlooked in a sense. You know what I'm saying? People, he don't get the props that he deserves. But if you listen to his albums, these are albums that you can say was well put together. Real talk. And I'm just speaking on the music.
But you know what? He really dug into those eras. Like he was really a good representative of what was going on at the particular time these different albums came out. He grew as an artist. When when Freestyle Fellowship came out and everybody was doing all this complicated stuff, he was doing that stuff too. You know what I'm saying? So it got to a point where he grew with it. So he never was outdated. And like you said, this was a dude that moved. He knew how to do those songs that were good party songs, sort of like pop songs, but also knew how to do those bangers as well. So he covered all of it. So.
Definitely.
Well, what you got to say about it?
Let's get into it. Oh, I mean, loved Heavy D. Heavy D was the man. You know what I'm saying? Had his own style and never tried to be like, follow the trends. Big dude, dressed slick as hell. You know what I mean? Always kept a fresh fade with the goatee. Always. He just did his thing. And no, you really, it's rare. You never heard nobody say nothing bad about Heavy D. You know what I'm saying?
Never.
He always
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Mm-hmm.
So his name was Dwight Arrington Myers, born May 24th, 1967. He was a Jamaican-born American rapper. Same place where Kamala's daddy was born, but still.
Hey, this is Spin That Back show, man. Keep this on hip hop, man. We ain't going to no politics, especially these politics today. That's what we're not going to do. So anyway, let's talk about this man. Some other stuff he did. Work with Michael and Janet. Who can say that?
Jumped ahead. You jumped.
I'm jumping ahead, but I'm just saying because I'm not going through his albums right now. I'm not going chronologically. We just speaking on some of the things that he done.
Well, since you did mention that, he did say it was weird, like when Michael gave him the call because he did that song with Janet. Was like, yo, of course I'm down. Let's do it. And that was, what was that? Was it Jam? I think I forgot the song. I think it was.
And that's when he stole. That's when he stole Chubb Rock's style on that song. A lot of people thought it was Chubb Rock on that song. Even Chubb Rock talks about that. He says, "Well, I took it as a form of flattery because a lot of people." Yeah, he didn't sound nothing like He was definitely repping a Chubb style on there, but
diddly dee. Yeah. All right.
So let's go into his albums though. So let's start with the first one, which was Living Large, right?
Oh, before you do that, we kind of got to go. His very beginnings was the Uptown is Kicking It album. Because that came out before that first Heavy D album, right? Because that was the beginning of him.
Yeah, that was Uptown's compilation, right?
Yeah. Uptown is Kicking It. So and his first song was, I believe, Mr. Big Stuff, which is another throwback to Stax. And I told you before that my mom said when they came up with that song, that was kind of they didn't take it very seriously. It was kind of like a joke, just kind of throw it out there, and it blew up. But he did a dope rendition of it, and the fact that he was a big dude. I mean, everything about it came together perfectly. So they represented.
Yeah, he played in Disorderlies. He was in New Jersey.
No, Disorderlies. He was in there.
I don't call him
Boys.
Yeah, it was Fat Boys.
See, let's get into that. How a lot of people used to mistake him a little from Marky D, big, chubby, light-skinned dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm looking at his discography. His first film was Who's the Man, so he definitely wasn't in Disorderly.
No, that was before him anyway.
Yeah, that was a bit before him.
Charles X, I probably got you to your comment late, so let me spin that back. I know he was a fat boy, but I don't think he was one of the fat boys. It is where it is there.
That's what he said that on Soul Train. He said that's the difference between, he said they fat and funny, I'm fat and lovable.
And the man had style too. But let's go to his first album, Living Large. Heavy D and The Boyz. That's Trouble T. Roy. What was the other cat name?
DJ Eddie F.
Eddie F. and the other cat.
And the other cat was,
I forgot his name.
Yeah, I forgot his name. I'm beyond.
Dang.
Only reason why I know Trouble T. Roy is because he rest in peace, And for those of y'all that don't know, Trouble T. Roy was
G Wiz.
Yeah, G Wiz. Okay.
G-Wiz.
Shout out to G Wiz. We apologize.
Yeah, we're gonna send that back to you. No disrespect over here. Only reason why I know Trouble T. Roy is because of that song Troy. You know, they reminisce over you.
Yeah. So
and the whole incident about him dying and everything.
Yeah. We'll come back to that. So let's get back to the order of things. So that first album, let me flip back to that.
Okay, yeah. You want to look at the track listing?
Yeah, so Living Large. So
Yes.
the first song, The Overweight Lovers in the house, the Overweight Lovers in the house. That's using that. Man, and you're talking about the phonics of it. Yeah, he had great production. You know, those things on it. I mean, there were some grooves on that. You know.
Yeah, dun. That's past the P's, I believe. Yes, sir. Anyway, great song. Like I said, production was well. Was that Howie T?
That was Marley Marl.
Marley Marl.
Wow.
You know what?
Sitting in my room with a smoking jacket on.
Oh. Oh man, yeah.
Next song was called Nike. I don't remember that one too well, but another thing is he had that those Jamaican roots, so he had a lot of reggae songs on most of his albums and everything too.
Now just think about this was 1987. Nike wasn't really popping back in 1987 like that. Like, you know, I mean, until Jordan, like really that, you know, because Jordan is like the 90s and stuff like that. Because you got to understand, I'm just thinking about as a B-boy, you know, the shoes were really like Adidas and Puma. Nike was like the third string, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, This is him jumping on this Nike in 1987. I don't think Nike really didn't become Nike until like Jordan. You know what I'm saying?
So the man was ahead of his time.
Yeah, he was ahead of his time. That's what I'm saying.
There you go. What's next at the Nike? Chunky but Funky, the remix.
Now, this is produced by Andre Harrell, who was like, you know, the head of the whole Uptown management. You know, also, I believe he was Dr. Jekyll. I always forget whether he was Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde, but, you know, he's one of them OGs. So, you know, it's Andre Harrell. And
rest in peace, Andre Harrell. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. You know. So, Teddy Riley produced this. And this is 1987. 1987, Teddy Riley. So, you know, this brother was, he was on the ground floor with Teddy Riley. Teddy Riley's sort of like claim to fame, or I guess the beginnings really of the show, which honestly, I didn't even know he had anything to do with the show till like that, maybe the Salt and Pepper movie. That's how late I was in the game to connecting him to that. But, you know.
Spin that back. That's history, though.
We missing that Heavy D. He didn't just come out with that album. Remember, first he dropped that single, Mr. Big Stuff. That was
that's what I was talking about. That was on the it was a single from the Uptown is Kicking It album. That's what I was talking about. He was on Mr. Big Stuff, that was on there. So it was his single, but it was a single from that album, you know. Uptown is Kicking It had Groove Be Chill, you know, who also had another rapper who had become like a prominent actor, you know, Daryl Chill, who ended up becoming paraplegic because he was in a motorcycle accident. But but they did some things. So, you know, shout out to the Uptown is Kicking. I always love that song. I love the whole vibe of it. How, you know, he comes in and, you know, just the dancing and all that stuff. So, you know, that's one of my favorite hip hop moments.
Definitely from Money Earning Mount Vernon. You know what it is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he put it on the map, Uptown. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And one more thing is this album was heavily influenced by the go-go sound. Whole lot of, even Mr. Big Stuff. There's all that go-go stuff.
Yep. You know, shout out to Washington, D.C., the home of go-go.
Yeah. And Chuck Brown. Oh, is it Chuck Brown? Chuck Brown, I think it is, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Spin that back. What else is on this album, brother?
So there's Dedicated. That's Teddy Riley. Okay. DJ Eddie F. Then we got Here We Go, Teddy Riley, you know, Heavy D. On the dance floor, you know, again, this brother wasn't afraid to move. So he had that type of stuff going on, you know, and that was also produced by Andre Harrell, Teddy Riley. But then you get to Money Out of Mount Vernon. That song, I love that song. That was produced by DJ Eddie F. and Teddy Riley. Teddy Riley's all over this, and you know it by he has that signature snare. He used this in all of this sort of like what's it called, the New Jack Swing type stuff like that. So when you listen to this stuff, you get all these vibes. And also, when I was listening to Money Out in Mount Vernon. You know what I was hearing in the background? The BBD Thought It Was Me. He like recycled this to sort of like do the fundamental to do like that song. So go check it out. So Money Earned in Mount Vernon, and then go listen to BBD Thought It Was Me, and you'll see that Teddy Riley recycled his sort of like chop points from there. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and check.
Cause I'm about to go down and put my town on the map and see Heavy D. Delighted you be learning about the place where I rest.
What else is on there?
You just about to play the part where it goes into where it's going to be the BBD, but yeah, we don't want to get copyright checked. But yeah,
can you hear that? You can hear that?
We heard what you were playing, but
okay.
Yes. So I'm gonna make you love me. I don't really remember that. Overweighter. This is a brother that he definitely leaned into his side. He was not embarrassed about it, but he also kind of like with the Fat Boys. You had two of the dudes that were really fat. And Prince Marky D always just be like, look, I'm not fat, I'm overweight, I'm just a big dude. So he wasn't sloppy with it, so to speak. So that's kind of like the vibe where Heavy D was coming from. I'm Getting Paid, Teddy Riley again. Again, Teddy Riley is all over this album. These are like sort of like the ground, the laying the grounds for what ultimately be that New Jack Swing.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fillers. Like it was a lot of fillers on that album. So like what I'm saying, it wasn't, not every song was just like banging. Like remember that 87 era. That's why you really don't mention them, like with the Big Daddy Kane, the Ella.
But if you actually listen to them,
you know what I'm saying? He was up there, but it wasn't. But his next album, that's when he really came with it, in my opinion.
So he had Mr. Big Stuff, the remix on this. On this first Living Large album, and Don't You Know, which is another Teddy Riley. So
Don't you know?
Yeah, and that was just like a throwback to like Hell Melvin and the Blue Notes. I Miss You. How dudes just kind of like talking.
Yeah.
But
so
if you listen to it though, it was flawless. The production was on point.
Yeah, I think it was actually when going back and playing it, I was really very impressed. I mean, I felt like a lot of this stuff was kind of more poppy than my taste per se, but I still feel it was done like high quality. Like he really was ahead of people production wise as far as rappers. You talk about 1987.
Yeah, and I think
it might have been poppy. Go ahead.
Wasn't Pepper in that video? Did they used to date? I'm not sure if they.
Oh, you talking about? I don't know. You talking about Pepper? Maybe. That sounds kind of... Well, actually, she used to date Prince Marky D, so you might be conflating those two like Brother Charles X.
No. I'm going to look it up. I think he did. I think he did, because I remember she was in the video, definitely.
If she did, then... ouch. Come on, man. She had a type.
Hey. Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine. Let's spin that back. Might be something there. But yeah, overall, that was a good album. But if you say it was poppy, it's because that was that poppy time. He was moving, dancing, and everything. He come from the dance era, and then he came into that, that the suits, and he kept that like sharp image and everything, and that clean cut and everything. He had his own little thing going. He was one of the first ones I seen like with really suits and everything, and really kind of just kept with it.
I take offense to you calling 87 a poppy time. Poppy time went on during 87, but there was some there was some underground hardcore, not NBA, NWA hardcore. There's a different type of hardcore. We talk about,
you also had Salt and Pepper, and you had
which was underground. Salt and Pepper. That you listen to those first two albums, them was underground hip hop.
Kid and Play.
I'm just telling you.
That's underground too, huh?
That was underground hip hop. It was. It was.
You had Hammer come out around that time too.
Yeah, now that was pop. That was straight pop. That was straight shiny suits and super movements. Real dope dancer.
Hey, don't be disrespecting him with those shiny suits. That belongs to Puff.
And speaking of Puff, we're talking about around this time. Heavy D was the one that introduced him to Andre Harrell to become like he was an intern to ultimately become the rap mogul, the music mogul that Puff Daddy ultimately became.
That he became, yeah, real talk.
So
yeah. So Heavy D did a whole lot for a whole lot of people. What's the second album?
So the second album is Big Time.
Okay,
Big Time.
let's bring that up.
It's
See, now you got the
1989.
suit on. Now you got the linen suit on and everything. Looking good.
Yeah, he's leaning into the R&B vibes. Just because like we got our own thing, that's definitely
we got
that.
right. We
So,
got our
take it on.
own thing. Yeah, that was the one. Wasn't
You
that
can even
on
hear
that?
Teddy
Yeah.
Riley singing in there.
Yeah. So
Yeah. That's one of my favorite songs. And plus, now that we found love, I love those songs, man. Even though that was like real
That's later.
pop,
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's
real
on the next
pop.
album, I think.
Oh,
But it was good pop. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was the now that we found love. That's later. But that's a good point that you're making. See, he made songs that appealed to the R&B crowd, but they were still dope hip hop songs. You know what I'm saying? He still was authentic, and it wasn't just like a lot of times we do a song back in those days that we called the crossover song that we may not have really been particularly feeling, but I felt like his songs that were maybe the crossover songs, those were really good songs. You know what I'm saying? So
he kept the balance in hip hop. He was one of those people. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't too hardcore. He wasn't too poppy, and he still was dancing and moving. You know what I'm saying? When a lot of people wasn't. You know what I'm saying? You had, and then you even had people like LL started dancing after this. You know what I'm saying? With Round the Way Girl, he in the video trying to dance and everything.
LL was calling out MC Hammer. That's how serious, because LL was like really dancing on tour. He wasn't really dancing like like for us in the video. So a lot of us didn't see that unless you saw him on live. Where live he was really doing all out and doing all the dancing and stuff like that. But yeah, he was going after MC Hammer, and that's why MC Hammer found his way into that Break of Dawn disc. But back to this Big Time album, you ain't heard nothing yet. I don't really remember that, but I definitely remember this next one. Somebody for Me with I'll Be Sure. Just think about it. I'll Be Sure was the man back in '89. You know what I'm saying?
And that's that.
For you to have, I'll Be Sure on your song. You know what I'm saying? It just, he did his thing.
Yeah, that was one of his biggest hits right there. Heavy D.
Somebody for Me. Yeah.
Did I'll Be Sure have anything? Oh, he had some kind of connection to Uptown, but I know he was with MCA, I think. He was with Warner Brothers. I think he was Warner Brothers. MCA or Warner.
I feel like it was. I'm trying to remember the album. I can't picture. I can see, but I definitely had that first album. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Which was an amazing album. Yeah,
the Night and Day album.
You couldn't tell that dude nothing as far as the females. That was some light skinned angst right there. But so Mood for Love, that's the next song on
that's that reggae. Ain't that reggae little joint?
Might be. I know Pete Rock was one of the producers on this joint. Easy Does It, Do It Easy, Marley Marl. So, he's still
with the Rakim sample, the Easy Does It, Do It Easy.
Yeah, so that's Marley Marl. Then a Better Land. This is a dope song. This is like, he's like how this now we're starting to get conscious. This is 89 where you're like really getting the conscious rap. So you got, BDP, got KRS One. This like his first album wasn't particularly conscious, but the second album was definitely conscious. You got Public Enemy where
this is the beginning of the conscious movement, and he was right there at the forefront of that.
You got a Better Land, and a Better Land is dope, man. Just check it out, man. It's a dope production. It's dope positivity. He did his thing.
And one thing I can say about this too. Everything Marley Marl did on Heavy D's albums was actually cleaner than everything else that he ever did. Spin that back. That's my opinion right there.
He was somewhat of a he was a person that adjusted to the situation. You know what I'm saying? So he had his grimy stuff that he did for the people that really whatever, but he dug into that stuff with Heavy D, which was more a clean dude. With LL. Around the Way Girl is kind of clean, but he still did a lot of the grimy stuff. So you're right about that. This is definitely more clean stuff.
Around the Way Girl was a Teddy Riley knockoff.
Mm-hmm. A good knockoff.
How dare you say that? How dare you say that?
A very good knockoff.
I don't know, man. It was not New Jack Swingy. It was definitely just more Marley Marl.
Straight up New Jack Swing.
It was not.
Yeah.
It had LL dancing.
Right. I mean, this was that time. New Jack Swing was hot. It was very hot, and everybody's sound was changing a little bit. That was 1990 Runaway Girl, but I mean, yeah, it was.
Yeah, it didn't have that, but it didn't have that swing vibe, man. We're gonna have to go back and play that when we talk about that. But shout out to the New Jack Swing. I mean, I know that they got clowned definitely by Ice Cube about you can New Jack Swing on my nuts, but they still did dope stuff, and they still did. And Rump Shaker to me is an ultimate party song. I there's no way that I could just be calm, whatever you put on Rump Shaker. I mean, to me, it is a flawless song.
Shout out to Pharrell, producer of Rump Shaker.
Wow, really? Yeah.
Real producer.
And Rex and Effect did a real good job on
it.
All their verses on that, everything that they're saying, just how they broke it up. That song is a classic, amazing party joint. So, shout out. But let's get back to Heavy D. So, girls, they love me.
That's the one.
Heavy D, Marley Marl.
Yeah,
that's a banger, man.
But did he do the remix or the original? Or both?
Probably did
the original.
Both, but he did.
Remember the original had that hardcore, that beat, but then the remix was just more kind of poppy a little bit, but it was banging. That became his mantra. Girls, they love me. Like that became. You know what I'm saying? Heavy D.
Can y'all hear this?
No.
Good. All right.
You're trying to not get in trouble. So yeah, then more bounce, dope. But he's rocking after. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, when I first moved to Florida, I had rapped over his beat, that more bounce than an ounce. And they used to play it on the radio. Yeah. That was in 1990. I was 15. Yeah. On the radio. That was my one hit.
So then we got Big Time, which is produced by DJ ADF and Pete Rock. Mm-hmm. No, I should say that I'll get the details because I believe that Pete Rock, DJ ADF, and this other dude, they were like the Untouchables or something like that. They sort of like formed their production collective,
Yeah.
So am I correct about that? So yeah. So
I think that was ADF's crew.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the name of them. It was something like that though. Yeah, you're right.
So then we got Flexin'. Now this is a song where he's kind of doing his Big Daddy Kane going off type thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit of a faster tempo, rap. So again, Heavy D wasn't afraid to do anything rap wise. I mean, he could do the chops, he could do the slow, he could do the smooth. He really didn't have a weakness as a rapper. He always
was that Marley Marl on that one too?
I thought it was, but I'm looking at it and it says DJ ADF. I definitely would have figured it out. I was guessing. I was saying that was Marley Marl because it reminded me of Raw. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And here we go again, y'all. Now this is produced by Marley Marl. He's got a lot of Marley Marl joints on this album. So here we go again, y'all.
And then Let It Flow, huh?
Let It Flow. DJ ADF and DJ Pete Rock. Or should I say DJ ADF and Pete Rock. Heavy D is a producer as well on this well. So,
And Let It Flow was upbeat too. That was kind of like on some Big Daddy Kane
type,
vibe. Yes, sir.
That was another thing that would have thought was Marley Marl. But again, this is a dude that this was what was going on in '89. So he was a person that was repping what was going on. However it evolved while he was doing his stuff, he adapted. You know what I'm saying? So he was with the times. And unfortunately, this is around that time, before we go into the next album, we have what would happen with Brother Trouble T. Roy.
Yes, sir.
So, I don't remember the particulars. I remember watching the video remember the mayor of Rap City? I was watching him on a YouTube video talking about it because he was actually there at the show. And he was actually the MC of the show, the showcase that was going on when they were performing. And he was saying that, that they were up in the Raptors and there was some type of situation where they were rolling something down the Raptors.
Dumpsters. Like the dumpsters. Like, the dumpsters with the wheels? They were pushing that back and forth. Yeah. So,
and what happened was he leaned back over the rail and then flipped over and fell to his death. And, and he talked about it because Tupac was there. And he said that Tupac was in tears. Because Tupac at this time, he was also sort of like, the dance guy, the background guy. But what did he? Yeah, because he wasn't really he didn't become the Tupac that we got to know at this point in time. But this is this is a dude that was paying his dues with a Digital Underground as a roadie and a background dancer. So of course, he connected with those cats. Just like Tretch from because Tretch was like a roadie to Latifah or something like that.
Flavor Unit.
Flavor Unit. So so that's why all those people really connected. You know what I'm saying? So that was a big tragedy. So and that tragedy led to sort of like the name of the next album and one of the greatest hip hop songs of all time with Pete Rock and CL Smooth called "They Reminisce of You," which is an acronym for TROY, Trouble T Roy.
He said he was like in a state of depression around the time that he had made.
Yeah, so and that's just a tough thing. I mean, and it just for it to happen at the show, you know what I'm saying? It's like y'all shouldn't even been up in those Raptors. I understand that. I don't know what it was, but it's sort of like these real wrestlers that are doing these things, and then something bad happens, and it's like what, the theatrics wasn't worth it. But
I mean, you got to think. They was only like 22, 21 years old. They was kids. They was just kids having fun, wilding out, doing dumb shit, Yeah. But hey, man, but it burned some good music because that was definitely one of Heavy D best pieces of work right there. That's some real cool joints on that.
Yes, sir. Spin that back. So let's go through the track list.
Track list is for Journey. So the first song is
"I Love" is number one.
There you go. That's your song with Aaron Hall from Guy. So they're completely embracing this whole New Jack Swing R&B. Now that we found love, this was a classic.
That was just Aaron. I thought that was Guy.
That was just Aaron. Huh? It was just Aaron.
Oh, damn. Okay, my bad.
They might have broken up by then. I don't know.
They broke up like 15 times before then. Anyway.
And what year was Peaceful Journey? 90 or 91?
This is 91, brother.
91. So this is okay. Go ahead. Right, same round time as Juice. But go ahead.
All right. So then we got Let It Rain. So this is produced primarily. The first name is Dwight Myers, which is I believe that's wait a second, Dwight Myers. That's Heavy D. Yeah, so he's producing his own stuff. So Sister. Oh, sorry, I skipped over a song. I Can Make You Go Oh or Ooh. So I don't remember that.
You don't have to name all these songs. Some of these songs was fillers. It was trash. But
the song, I'm not gonna say it's trash, but I was naming it because I'm getting to the big song, Don't Curse. So this is the song which you got Big Daddy Kane, Grand Puba, Kool G Rap, Q-Tip. Pete Rock and CL Smooth. Just think about it. This is amazing assembly of talent. Yes, not only am I sure, but I'm positive, and it's on here. And you know what? I should have mentioned also on when did Marley Marl's In Control album? Because he had a song in there with Biz Markie called "We Make the Songs." So
I think 88, and then the second one was like 91.
So I want to put that out there as well. So Bismarck, Heavy D stayed with that Marley Marl connection. That they came out of that whole Uptown is kicking it because DJ Marley Marl, he was the DJ of that movement. So So now we got Don't Curse, and then we got Peaceful Journey, which is literally what they call it when the song is the title song of the album.
Yes, sir.
And then if you want me to just hit on the major songs, there's Is It Good to You? That's another pop song. I always thought that was the dude from Tony. It's not listed on here.
Raphael Sadiq.
That's always, when I hear Is It Good to You, I always thought that was him. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that it's not listed on here. Oh, it is?
That was girl singing. Yeah, that's a female. Yeah, because on the Juice soundtrack, there's another version of this song.
No, the I Like It. Wait, the Is It Good to You? But the part that says I Like It, that's a female singing it too?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a female.
My bad.
Yeah, because she got the whole song, and then Heavy D on his album got the rap. But yeah, I like both versions. Both versions.
I do too.
Just sound good.
That's dope when people do that. I like when people do that. Just like
it's called "Is It Good to You." It's on the Juice soundtrack. It's the old girl. I forgot her name, but it's a very good song too. It's the exact same beat. So
I just like that when I see you again. Like when I see you again, it's like you have the one version that's all the singing. Whoever's the singer version of that dude. I don't remember. That might be the gay guy, and then the rapper, of course, is a famous rapper. Forgot his name, but from Fast and the Furious. But let's go back to this. These songs on here, don't really jump out to me. I hate to skip to the end because "Do Me," I freaking love that song. Like that song, that song, that's that's just dope. Check it out. That's all I gotta say. That's the song where it goes, "Oh baby," I believe so. Yeah, but that's a banging ass song.
Yeah, it's a good song. And then somebody for me, the remix. It was another version. Yeah. Then we go to the next album, which is Blue Funk. Let me see, do we have this up here? I think we do. Here go the album cover right here. Now, Blue Funk was a crazy album to me because this is the one that they had. They started off with the dedication. No, it's not the one. My bad. I'm thinking about the next one probably. So, what you know about these songs on here, Mr. Nice Guy?
My internet just bugged out. Am I still with you guys? Can you still hear me? Can you still see me?
Got you. We still got you.
My screen just went completely black. Okay, here we go. It came back. Sorry about that. So Blue Funk. Let's go into Blue Funk. So first song, let's see.
Now remember, this is 1992, y'all, because I want to make a point about this.
Yeah, because these songs I don't remember these songs.
Blue Funk was pretty much like I like the best song in there. I mean, you know what I'm saying, that I remember. I barely.
Well, "Who's the Man" was dope. If that's the song that I'm thinking of. Wasn't that song from the movie "Who's the Man"? Who's the man with the pastor plan or whatever. But "Who's the Man"? That's a dope ass song. If I'm correct in remembering that. That was also on the soundtrack. "Who's the Man"?
No, that's just "Who's the Man." Time keeps on slipping.
Different, completely different. Taking back my endorsement.
Anyway, the very last song on here, we ain't gonna go through the whole track list.
Yeah.
Very last song is a song called "A Bunch of Niggas." It's got Biggie on here.
Wow. Busta Rhymes.
Biggie Small.
Busta Rhymes, Third Eye, Robo, and Third Eye was the dude that was rapping with Biggie Smalls on that Supercat song, sort of like their intro song.
Oh yeah,
Dolly, my baby.
Yeah, exactly. So I remember first hearing that, never thinking that Biggie would grow to be the dude that he was. I remember listening to that Third Eye dude, thinking like, "Yo, that dude is dope," and Biggie just blew past him. You know what I'm saying? So
definitely.
Okay, so the next album was called "Nothing But Love."
That's the one. Got nothing but love for you, baby. No money for you, baby. Nothing but love, straight up. Yeah, definitely big. I think that's probably might have been his biggest hit of his entire career. "Nothing But Love." That song, if I'm not mistaken. Let me do a quick Google.
Yeah. I don't know. Now That We Found Love was pretty big.
That's an interesting point. I'm trying to see. I was looking to see if it was going to say which was his biggest single ever.
Black Coffee, that wasn't too big though. That's the other one that was on this album now. Oh, Got Me Waiting. Got Me Waiting, I think, was his biggest song.
I don't even remember that song. This is about the time.
The one with the Luther Vandross.
This is about the time where I was heavily working on stuff that I wasn't really trying to be listening to other people's stuff. So I always prefer this time as when I was doing a bid, not doing a literal bid, but working on some stuff that I wasn't really trying to be influenced by other people's stuff.
Yeah, so that's about the only hits that was on that album. After that, let me see, this is 94, 97, Waterbed Hev. Big Daddy. That's about the only song on here.
So it does. And it says, I'm looking at Billboard, number one. It says "Got Me Waiting." So you guys were right about that. And honestly, I don't recall that song at all. I can't even begin to picture anything. Nothing.
Well, what you say about got me waiting? You say who was right?
Both of y'all said that it was his biggest song.
I thought Who was right. I thought it was Nothing But Love.
Now That We Found Love was number 2 though. So you both, Hey, shout out to both of you cats. You guys know what you be talking about some of the time.
Yes, sir.
Wait, what did nice guy? What did Brother Stu next say? He just left a comment.
Oh, he had said, let me put that back up there. He forgot how dope Big Time album was. Yes, sir.
Right.
Real talk there.
And this is around the time I remember. I should have mentioned that song when he had that song "Don't Curse." He had a B-side song on there called "You Can't See What I Can See." This was a hip hop banger. This was like a dope ass, you know what I'm saying?
That's what Flavor Flav.
Yeah,
so Flav
so that I just want to point it out that again, this was a dude that when hip hop got super underground and you had all the chops and all this other stuff, he was doing that stuff too. I mean, you had Latifah, all of these cats was the OGs, the people that whatever, they all adjusted, was doing that complicated type of style of flow and stuff like that. So, it was a dope thing. So, shout out to Heavy D.
Baby. Yeah.
So and now you're talking about all this music at this time. This is so in Living Color, he did the thing. And when did Living Color come out? I gotta feel like that. I was in
90.
I was in 90. Okay, so he did the theme show for In Living Color, did the theme show for Mad TV, and he was all over the place doing all of this stuff. So I guess
didn't he do a theme for Soul Train? I know Tretch did one. Did Heavy D do one?
It didn't say it, but I don't know because I remember once Soul Train got to a point when after Don Cornelius was gone, they just sort of like had some random people. It didn't survive too much longer after that. But
that's a truth.
Yeah, y'all youngsters don't know how important Soul Train was to us back in the day. That's what brought us Rosie Perez. That was the beginning. And we had Soul Brothers that performed on there. So shout out to Cuddy Mack, brother Ali, so Shabazz Ali. But Soul Train was a big deal for us black people back in the day. That was where you didn't get on there. They were very sexist. You didn't get on there without being fine. They didn't let you in. They literally would be like, yeah, not you. So don't take your ugly friends to Soul Train thinking that all y'all gonna get in. You just someone's getting their feelings hurt.
Yeah,
so,
the camera wasn't gonna like you. So
no, you wasn't getting in the building. They literally pick out people and be like, you have two and a half honeys. That half honey wasn't getting in the show.
That's right.
They was
and that back one time. Let's get back. There's one more.
And they didn't get paid for that. They didn't get paid for that. All you got was some fried chicken. That was the fee for getting on the Soul Train.
It was KFC. It was
KFC.
Top of the line at the time. So anyway, one more album from Hev. This is called Heavy. This was like 99. I don't remember any songs off of here, to be 100% with you.
Yeah, this is when he did, because he was Heavy D and the Boyz up until he started doing the solo albums. And this wasn't even his first solo album. There was an album called Waterbed Hev that came before that, 1997. But I don't know nothing about Waterbed Hev, Heavy, Vibes, or Love Opus.
That's the one with Big Daddy. That was the only song on there that I remember. So, But anyway, Heavy D was a phenomenal artist. Rest in peace to the brother. We do miss you, brother.
And he has. I want to say this. What do Heavy D and Dwayne Wade have in common? They both have a daughter named Zaya.
Ouch.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Facts.
Or Zaya, whatever. Yeah, he does have a daughter. Heavy D has one child. He has a daughter. I think she got to be in her 20s by now. But yeah.
We're gonna get into this other little segment we got here called 5 Minutes of Funk. Now I know y'all ain't ready for it, and I ain't even told y'all what it is, but I just came up with one thing. I just want to say one thing. Here's one question. And I know this debate didn't been had, but we gotta make some sense of it and come to a consensus once and for all. Who is better, Dre or Quick? And why?
I'll go last.
I'm going with the devastating DJ Quick. I gotta pick Quick.
And we're gonna find out why. Why? Bring that back and tell us why.
Quick sonically, to me, was flawless with his beats, crisp, just concise. And like, watch this. The other day, well, not that day, but like last month, I'm at this barbecue, and it was one of the Raphael Sadiqs, but it was a DJ Quick production. When he's on it rapping, they played that song like 3 times in a row. Nobody complained. They was like, play it again, just out of nowhere. And this is an old song, and we was like, that's DJ Quick, bro. So I got to go with DJ Quick. Born and raised in Compton, Tonight, Loped Out Hood. A lot of samples he was using, but then there's a lot of beats he got that was straight him from scratch. So yes, I'm rocking with DJ
that was
Quick.
That was about to be my criticism.
Mm-hmm.
That the lack of samples. But what's your take on this, Infamous?
Well, let me say this. Dre came before Quick. We all know that. Dre was a big influence on Quick. Yes. Dre was using a whole lot of samples and everything in the beginning. Then he started instruments. Yeah, he still does. Okay, he does. He really does. A lot of it you don't know. That's the whole thing. He's so clever with it. But some of them, it's just ridiculous. But he started doing the instrumentals. Quick came is doing the instrumentals, but Quick actually plays. I'm not saying Dre don't play, but Quick, you can see him on stage playing. You can see Dre on the Super Bowl sitting up here at the piano like he playing Still DRE. No, you did not do that, nigga. That was Scott Storch. I don't even think you can play that. Yeah, that shit is horrible.
I'm
not done. I'm not done.
Like Lil Wayne with the guitar. Go ahead.
Hold on.
The guitar man.
Yeah, sonically, Quick can go anywhere. I mean, Dre can too, because Dre was doing R&B with Miss LA and stuff like that. And he did some other stuff. Tony Braxton. He done did some stuff. Mary J, which is just a beat, and she's just singing on top of it. But Quick can play some shit that's just out of here. Even let's talk about the Tony. Just that by itself. Crossover. I don't know who did what, him or Sadiq. They fit so good together. Him and Dre didn't fit too good together to me. Those beats that they made, that one song, Put It On Me, that's whack. I'm sorry, it's whack. It's lacking. It's lacking.
You don't like it?
It's lacking. It's too simple.
All right. So where you at, nice guy? Where you at? What you got?
No, I think that phonically, I think that Quick is on a kind of another level. You know what I'm saying? I just think that he's mastered the clean sound. I'm more of an East Coast grimy sound type person anyway, so that's really not my lane. That said, I've always respected how he talked about that album. What's the dude? Who's the rapper? His name's like Shotgun. I forgot what his name. The big dude. Mossberg. Yeah. So when he talks about how he did all this perfection of the audio and all this other stuff, but they lost it or whatever and end up rolling with a different version. He's like just so upset that you can't hear that, and it's like they have this different ear. You know what I'm saying? As far as professionalism and whatever, and just tightness, in my own circles, we have Brick Walls. He had his degree of production. I had this other dude, X-Ray. Shout out to my brother X-Ray. He just was a more cleaner guy. And I'm just saying that Quick was that more cleaner producer. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I think that I liked his stuff better, but when you're talking about the R&B stuff, I mean, like Tony, I think you guys make the argument right there. His ability to adapt to other stuff and do stuff was probably because when people hook up with Dre, they end up doing Dre stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's, as opposed to this dude maybe adapting, creating something else for them. So I get that. I would say the Dre's catalog, I like his catalog way better. But I think that technically, I think that Quick is that dude when as a producer, as a person that's actually playing and all this other stuff. Dre is kind of more of a Quincy Jones. You know what I'm saying?
I like what DJ Quick said. He said about himself. He said, I'm a combination of DJ Quick and Eric Wright, because of how his voice sounded. He's like, I'm a combination of both of them two individuals. So salute to Quick. I support Quick, but they both great producers. Can't take nothing away from Dre. Can't take nothing, but I gotta roll with Quick.
Yeah, so I roll
That's
Quick too, basically.
I'm rolling with Dre's catalog.
Dre's catalog goes back further than Quick.
Well, that's going to be my define. If I got to pick somebody, you tell me if I got to go to a island and I'm only going to have all the DJ Quick songs, or I'll have all the Dr. Dre songs, I'm going to take the Dr. Dre song.
It's tough.
So is that 5 minutes?
Yeah, it's 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Sure.
5 minutes of funk brought to you by Spin That Back.
And we're going to spin that. Wrap it on up. We didn't give proper Big Heavy D, rest in peace.
I didn't lean into the fact that he was a big part that, he brought in, like, first he was the connection with Pete Rock, with Marley Marl. That was Pete Rock is his actual cousin.
Yep.
Pete Rock.
Yeah, bring that up. That's
Because Pete Rock was the DJ for Marley Marl, and Marley Marl's In Control, radio show. This is after the passing of Mr. Magic and stuff like that. So WBLS, I apologize if I jumble the letters. I do have dyslexia.
That's it.
But but yeah, so that was his sort of like intro to hip hop. So so he and Pete Rock, one of the greatest legendary hip hop producers of all time. Salute to that brother. So when you talk about he was the one that connected him to CL Smooth, I believe. Was that correct, El Poo?
I'm not sure about that part right there.
He connected him. I know he connected him with. I know that he did a lot of trucing with as far as T. Roy, because I know that T. Roy and CL Smooth had like some issues. They had like real beef and stuff like that. And he kind of Heavy D was a big person and kind of smoothing that out. And obviously it got smoothed out to the extent that he ended up making one of the greatest rap songs ever about the dude. Yes, so that's a big accomplishment. And then he brought us Soul for Real. He discovered Soul for Real, discovered whatever discovered means.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Monifa. So
I used to love her.
Yeah. So yeah, she's so this was a dude who had his hands in everything. You're talking about acting, you're talking about producing, you're talking about rapping, you're talking about a show. You know what I'm saying? He was in movies. He was in a movie that I think won an Academy Award. Cider House Rules. I still never seen it, but he had he was in it. So it's just that this dude has had a great career, and it's such a tragedy he died on such of a fluky thing. Because he had heart disease, but you can live for a while with heart disease. We all end up with heart disease at one point. You know what I'm saying? But
you do know it was a blood clot because he flew to Europe. He did not like to fly. He did not like flying, but he flew over there. He had like a big show in the UK or something, and he did it. And he came back. He was living in Beverly Hills.
He died from that. That's what I'm saying. It's just as a fluke as that. It's whatever. Shout out to my brother Dante. He has like blood clots and stuff like that, so he really can't travel. He had a job that required him to travel a lot, and he's constantly in the hospital behind him. So I mean, it's when you got these type of situations, there's just certain things that you just can't do, and it's a shame. Right, yeah. And maybe he didn't know that, but that's a shame. That's how we lost that brother.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget. Heavy D was on self-destruction too, right? Or Stop the Violence. Snap. Self-destruction, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to recall, but probably, this dude had connections. You know what I'm saying? He was connected, you know what I'm saying? He was connected with all these hip hop, movements and stuff like that. So,
Heaven's at the door, so there'll be no bum rushing.
Yeah. So, in fact, they even played the I think they did, put that in there. So, so dope. Yeah.
Wow, so, forgot about that. Wow.
Yeah, because not everybody else got their custom sort of like beat drop. Like PE did. They got, the funky drummer on it, but, Heavy D got that. Yep. Hey, man, shout out. So definitely,
MC Light got a little bit.
Yes.
With the paper thin. Yep.
Yep. So that's dope. So,
yeah. Spin that back one time.
I always think it's disrespectful when you like do all energy up the beat over one person and don't do it for somebody else. Like Ice-T and Ice Cube. I love that song for Trespass. And it's like the energy on Ice Cube's part versus the energy on Ice-T's part. It's like a slap in the face. It's like got to get more money. Play it, dude. Play it. I'm just saying when he comes in, Ali, out comes P. Here come the G. I'm sagging into the jagging like Bruce Lee. He got the you hear like it's like Jinx. Whoever's doing the beat, you can just tell, just the energy of it just goes to a completely different place. And I mean, this is my quintessential song when I explain, like, Ice Cube is a legend. I love this dude. He's a don in hip hop, but he was completely outclassed by Ice Cube on that song. Well, Ice Cube destroyed him on that song.
You can make that same argument about Renegade.
Yeah, you can definitely. But we found out on Spin That Back that it's actually a Eminem song, so it's kind of different. So we found that out on Spin That Back. I didn't know that before. That was Jay-Z. He took that song, but it was an Eminem song. Eminem song produced it. Eminem whatever. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah, but it is what it is. So anyway, rest in peace, Heavy D. This was a good show today, brothers. So let's wrap this on up. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in to the Spin That Back show one more time. We should be here next Saturday. Oh, and Student X, yes, sir.
Always chiming in,
probably left
brother.
some more comments too. So you like that 5 minutes of funk? Heavy D for president. Heavy D became the president. Yeah, he was the president of Uptown. That's real talk.
So he took Andre Harrell's
Appreciate
position.
all that. Yeah. Yes, sir. Anyway, with all that being said, tune back in next Saturday, 10:30. We're going to be back here, Spin That Back. We're going to have some more history with y'all. 79 to 99, that's how we do. So keep on tuning in. Check us on out. We out of here.